staggering, exquisite, remote. The islands that inspired Darwin's survival of the fittest could be facing a fight for their survival. The Galapagos, one of the few places to see nature up close and personal, is now being challenged by its own popularity. 21st century threats like bucket list tourism and plastic pollution are threatening the very existence of some of the island's most iconic animals. The beloved giant tortoises, blue-footed boobies, and iguanas. And nearly everywhere you go, walk around or go for a casual dip and you'll see there's wildlife at your fingertips. The animals charm visitors, making the appeal of the islands even greater. And look at this. Did you ever think that sea lions would love sleeping on benches? Oh, they're snuggling in. Are you kidding me right now? This is so cute. Those sea lions, they're just like us.
It's amazing how they prefer to live here in the town. The humans, they have the whole island. But they like to be here. They are sleeping there in the pier. They are looking for nice boats to rest.
Federico Hidrovo is part of the island's plan to protect this land. Every visitor is required by law to hire a state-sanctioned naturalist like him for all island visits.
More safety.
With 775 naturalists for the more than 250,000 tourists who visited last year, these are coveted and highly competitive jobs.
We are not allowed to eat here in this island. It's totally protected. If you need the bathroom, also please use it right now. We have the bathroom right here. We cannot use the bathroom there. Please never go outside of the trail. Don't touch the animals. You can touch the vegetation, but please don't destroy it.
29-year-old Federico is part ranger.
Almost the 70% of the plant that we have here is endemics and natives plant. And then we have this solitary egg that is very uncommon to find it.
And part cop. You guys are no joke. I got off the trail earlier and someone else yelled at me.
Because my job is not just to point you where is the iguana, that is a salty bush, that is the blue sky. My job is to control that everybody has to be inside of the trail. Nobody can eat here. Please never take some souvenirs.
We heard that repeatedly.
You can see that this beautiful and unusual beach is shining.
Can we bring it home?
No, we cannot bring anything from here. Those are Galapagos National Park rules.
The number of visitors growing exponentially from just 5,000 50 years ago. Behind us now, there's even a hawk, and you pointed out an iguana.
I know. They're just sort of common for us.
Yeah, you're used to it by now, right? We meet Lisa from Wisconsin and Judy from California, who are halfway through their fantastic expedition. How strict has your naturalist been with you in terms of making sure you don't get off the path or run into
Very strict, yes, but that's a good thing.
The Webbers say they also love having a personal guide.
Well, I thought it was awesome because we're kind of an intellectual family that likes to learn. So there's obviously, we've been peppering him with questions. So it's been really nice.
They're also very focused on preservation and, conserving the natural environment that exists around us. It's very unique.
A focus on conservation that's also important to the naturalists. It sounds like you've always had this drive to conserve. Was there a moment when you thought, I want to be a naturalist?
I have a lot of knowledge in my mind, and I have a lot of experience in my heart. I feel a lot of passion, and I want to share it.
There is so much commotion going on right now. Wait, they're kind of coming close to you.
Yeah, it's because the male is here.
The male's here? Is this what happens? He just ruined the whole chill vibe of this place.
Everybody was sleeping, but now the male is like, hey, where is my females?
But this is incredible. I mean, we're just sitting here on this beach right now, and nature is happening all around us. There are sea lions everywhere, but they don't seem to care that we're here.
Well, I think that is possible because we are living in a place where we are respecting a lot the animals inside of the Galapagos.
Hi, bud. It's the once-in-a-lifetime thrill of these experiences that puts the region at risk, but it's something the World Wildlife Fund says can be managed. Hugo Arnal is the former WWF director for Ecuador.
Tourism is a double-edged sword. It can be good and it can be bad. So let's make sure that we manage tourism the best possible way, and we use tourism as a conservation tool.
Conservation isn't a 9-to-5 job. That night at home with Federico, we saw how naturalists are responsible for reporting everything they see.
When I describe what I saw, what was good and wrong, So for example, sometimes there is some people destroying vegetation. Sometimes I found families with dogs.
Dogs are restricted because they can cause cross-contamination, and so can we. That's because each of the at least 14 islands here are so drastically different from one another, geologically and in the kinds of plants and animals that live on them.
The most important threat to biodiversity on islands is invasive species.
Because of the long distances between the islands, without tourism, there'd be no cross-contamination.
We don't want to bring germs, insects, parasites from this island to another island.
A threat taken so seriously, people must pass through biosecurity checks every time they visit an island. Another unwelcome visitor from island to island is trash. When you come to experience the vast beauty of the Galapagos, you probably don't stop to think about the enormous amount of trash that tourists and locals alike create. But this island, Santa Cruz, seems to have come up with a solution. They're able to recycle about 50% of all of the island's trash. That's more than double the global average and one of the most in all of Latin America. Mario Pugh is the director of a local recycling plant. So this recycling center can help save the environment, save the wildlife here in the Galapagos.
El año pasado, 2018, la ciudad generó aproximadamente 6.100 toneladas y de ese total nosotros logramos recuperar el 50%.
Hola! Juan Pablo Munoz and his family of 3 try to live with as little waste as possible.
We're trying to leave less plastic that we can. For example, our toothbrushes are wooden. All the diapers that we use for hair are reusable diapers that you can wash it. You can see our fridge. You see things that are wrapped in plastic. Even though we are conscious, we're trying to make the difference, but it's no other options. We're trying to have all the toys that are made by wood, by glass, but it's some items that you cannot escape.
Juan Pablo knows firsthand what's at stake.
The only ones that are going to be more affected about this problem is our kids and the kids of our kids.
A marine scientist at the Galapagos Science Center, he showed us what alarms him the most.
I'm showing you a microplastic sample from the stomach content of a fish here in the Galapagos. But if you look in deep, you will see the little fibers and the little microplastic that is in this sample.
From the ocean, you don't need a microscope, as the WWF was eager for us to see.
Every single thing that floats eventually have the potentiality to arrive here. In the past was wood, now it's plastic.
So where does all this plastic, all this trash come from?
I mean, it comes from everywhere, from the States, it can come from Europe, it can come from Japan, it comes from everywhere.
On land, the amount is multiplied. Seeing it up close, you see there's so many different types of trash in here, types of plastic. You have like a hard hat, gasoline containers, some type of bottling container. Plastic bottle, plastic bottle, plastic bottle.
Bottles, that's pretty much roughly the 80% of the debris that you find in the Galapagos. Bottles, one way or another, plastics is forever. Even though you do the best thing to recycle, it's going to be a little bit of release of microplastics that is going to end up in the air or in the ocean.
And what exactly are microplastics?
I want to show you that. I want to actually show you what is microplastics.
Oh, it's like, oh God, you can see it coming off in the air even.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we can make, you see this?
Yeah,
so
you can see the dust of blue.
Yeah, look.
Oh my gosh, look on your hand.
And that's the real problem.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't know how to avoid. Because we can easily clean this macro debris.
But how do you clean up dust?
Exactly, how you clean dust. So the best thing to do is attack this problem from the source before I arrive here. Because once I arrive here, it's probably too late to do something about it.
How do you change the minds of people when we've all gotten so used to this disposable lifestyle?
They need to see this. They need, I think that's important that, that everybody actually understand that the most pristine places in this planet are like this.
For the island, often called the laboratory of evolution, the stakes have never been higher. Why should people in the middle of America care about the Galapagos?
You have a single planet. There's no planet B. And you have places in the many different countries that are unique, that are so beautiful and so important that they go beyond the political boundaries. And Galapagos is one of them. Politically, yes, Galapagos belongs to Ecuador. Emotionally and in terms of heritage, it belongs to the world.
For Nightline, I'm Maggie Bruley on the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.